Hello, everyone.
Welcome.
Welcome to Thursday, and welcome to a type of video that we actually have not done, I feel like, in a hot minute.
It's been a while since we've done one of these, definitely.
And so since it's been a while, we've come up with actually a lot more of them. This definitely is not all of the new ones we've learned since the last time, but today we have 10 more BOLO brands.
Specifically, spring BOLOs.
Yes.
We're looking at picking up for spring 2021.
Yes, these are really great ones to pick up during the spring and the summer. Obviously, we both sell things all year round, so I'd pick up any of these all year.
Yes.
But these are quite like spring heavy. Half of them make swim stuff as well, so they're great for spring. So I hope that you enjoyed yesterday's bonus video. If you did check it out, I know it's probably not like everyone's cup of tea because it's not necessarily reseller related, but we really wanted to show you guys the amazing
we wanted to give
things.
shout out, give credit where credit is due.
Those were like so sweet. Like I did not expect people to send us such like sweet, nice things.
I know.
That were so like tailored to us. Like I was like, you people know me better than some of my relatives.
I know. It was crazy. I'm still very appreciative.
Yeah. I suppose we should just jump into the 10 spring BOLOs. So I will start it off. And the first one is a brand that I actually just recently learned. Ryan actually found it first.
Didn't get it. Didn't know what it was.
Then my friend, joyfully curated Melinda, told me about it. Ryan saw the name and was like, wait, I just saw one of those.
And I'm kicking myself in the foot still.
He skipped it though, but it's called Rococo Sand, and I'm sure by that name you can kind of tell right off the bat that it's pretty spring and summer. It has sand in it. Rococo Sand makes a lot of dresses and swim covers, and then they also do make some swim, they make rompers, all those kind of fun, like, spring type wear.
All the warm weather things.
They use tons of, like, super intense, crazy colors. They do florals quite often, but they also do, like, ombre. They do tie-dye. They do basically anything that can just incorporate tons and tons of color. The only pieces that I've seen that haven't had really intense prints have, like, really cute embroideries to them. The one Rococo Sand that I have and that I'm selling incorporates both, kind of. It's really funky colors, and it also has stars embroidered all over it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like a mix of the two types of things they do. I think I've seen like some like black, just plain pieces, but they have like white embroidered like prints on the sleeves and stuff. So it's never too boring. A lot of bloggers wear it. So usually
she's very popular in the Instagram world.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Usually if you find a piece, you can find a really cool like model picture that's either from a blogger or actually some of their model pictures they take themselves look like really cute bloggery photos. Their pieces retail from about like $200 to $600. $600 is more the like dresses and like long maxi swim covers, and then $200 is when it's more of like a pair of shorts or like a mini skirt or something, which I mean that's still a lot of money.
$200 for a mini skirt?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So they do also make skirts and some shorts and some like tops, but it's definitely more heavy on the like swim and dress type stuff. And they are sold at Revolve, Shop Bop, and I believe Bloomingdale's. I don't know if they're sold at any other department stores, but it's possible. But they're very prevalent on like Shop Bop and Revolve.
They do very good in Revolve.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
That's where I see them most if you search them, for sure.
So our number 2 is like Rococo Sand in the sense where she uses a lot of color. That's also 2 words. It's Hoffman.
It's similar as in it's 2 words.
Yeah. And they use
It's
a lot of color.
It's an interesting way to make it.
Like, interesting segue. Miss Mara Hoffman uses a ton of color. She is really known for her, like, big geometric prints on her dresses and stuff. She's really well known for her maxi dresses, and she has a very popular swim line. She does make some tops, and I think she definitely makes, like, skirt sets, like, 2 pieces. She's really, really, really well known for her dresses and for her swimwear. All of it is really crazy colors. All of it's really vibrant. All of it's very beautiful. She does a lot with, like, geometric patterns, especially from what I've seen in her, like, maxi dresses and some of her swimwear. It's all these like really big, bold, color blocked. I kind of think of it as like 80s like game carpet, where it's all those just like really random shapes, or like there is like a design in it somewhere.
The second video in a week where arcade floors have come into like...
What was the first one?
I think it was during a haul, and you said like, oh, it was during those Top Shop jumpsuits. You were like,
God,
the print of this
look like
reminds me
an
of an
floor.
80s arcade floor. Yeah.
I think,
or like the bowling,
I must think about those a lot.
Or like the bowling alley floor. I'm all here for like, let's make home decor and let's make clothes based off of like arcade game floors, racing cart room floors, and like 90s These Taco Bell's wall art.
Oh, I'm here for
I
that.
love the colorways and I love the prints.
I'm here for that.
Yeah.
She uses a lot of really nice materials. Her dresses and her clothing is a lot of the time silk or silk-like materials. Her swimwear, just like, you know, neoprene swimwear, that kind of thing. Her swimwear, price-wise, is like toward the lower end. So you're looking at like 90 to 120.
Lower
A
end.
lot of these people are expensive.
Yeah.
So we're talking lower end, as in like lower end for, you know, a lot of these people.
For designer.
Like 90, $100 will get you out like, you know, half of a swim set. Her dresses are looking like $200, $300, $400, $500.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty expensive. A lot of it, especially the swimwear, really hold a lot of its value.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ryan has had experience with it. I've never found anything by her.
I've never found the dresses. I want to so bad. I've seen them at like consignment stores and like other places, and they're like really expensive still. But I haven't found one.
Ryan has had a lot of luck with the swim.
I love this swimwear. And I will say, if it's not like a super new or like trendy style, it's probably not going to do that good. But I think that's just kind of like a general theme for
That applies to everything.
Yeah.
So up next is a brand called Self Portrait. This had been on my BOLO list, like my BOLO bucket list, for a long time, and suddenly I have, I think, 4 in my closet, which I am not mad about.
I'm one.
Because it is like a major BOLO in the world of dresses.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, they make a ton of dresses. That's really their specialty. They do have a few tops. They have a few pairs of pants, but like the retail does not keep its value as much as the dresses, and they're not nearly as sought after as the dresses.
Yes.
So the signature thing with Self Portrait is they use tons of lace, like thick kind of cut out lace.
Mm-hmm.
When you see it, you're like, that's a Self Portrait dress.
Okay. A lot of them are nude illusion. Is what I'm realizing, too. Mm-hmm.
They are. And they sometimes make like more dressy, like event style dresses where it's like it looks like it could go to prom, you'd wear it to a wedding, whatever. But then they also do ones that are more like bloggery or like casual, like
brunchy stuff.
Printed. Like I have one with stars printed all over it. It's not as like event tailored. It's more just like for normal things. But then they even make some that look like wedding dresses. And in fact, I believe one of the royal family has used their dress either as a wedding guest or at her wedding. So they have a name with bloggers. They have a name with like English royalty, especially the white like maxi length or even maybe midi length dresses. Super sought after for like weddings that people go to. And for self-portrait pieces, usually the retail is between like $300 and $700, but if you do go into the like wedding dress, maxi white lace dress, that's more $1,000 plus.
That's a chunk of shit. But I mean, like for a wedding dress, like that's not super expensive.
Yeah.
Because like I watched a lot of Say Yes to the Dress as a child.
It might
Those
even
are pricey.
They might even retail higher. I'm not like an expert on the wedding style ones.
But they're less than like a $10,000 wedding dress.
But the thing is like they keep their value very well. So like say you pick up one that retailed at $450 to $500, you can still sell it for like $250 to $300. So
that's pretty good.
They keep their value. Yeah. And there are, I think it applies to a lot of these. There are like certain styles that are just like sought after.
I think as like a famous person wears it, kind of like your Alexis Coat, you have that one with Saturday, where it's like Kylie Jenner wore it and everybody needs that same dress.
Yeah.
Kind of like that mentality. Okay, so our next brand, number 4, is also a predominantly dress company, line, brand, whatever you want to call it. She's kind of like had a moment in the reselling community in the past like year, 8 months.
Yeah.
It's like all anybody ever wants to find. Love Shack Fancy, LSF.
Which I will say we have covered it, I think, back in the sweater
yes,
BOLO.
we talked about their sweaters.
We mentioned them because their two things are sweaters and dresses. So now we're going to cover dresses.
Yes. Okay. So much like Rococo Sand, very bohemian, very expensive, very nice materials. A lot of it is like, you know, your pastel, floral kind of a moment, but they're beautiful in person. They are also so expensive. Kind of like the sweaters. Like, they probably retail from like, I'd say $250 for the mini skirts. You can get some of the tops for like $90 to $150. I did stalk their Instagram, and they make children's dresses, and
cute.
the children's like bride like ring bear, like those kind of like flower girl dresses are like $300-400. It's expensive stuff, and it holds its resale value. The dresses, the tops, and the mini skirts, not the greatest unless you have like a 2-piece. If you sell them together, you'll be fine. The dresses is where like the big money is. They do a lot of printed, they do a lot of ruffles on things. Everything is very kind of like Rococo, like originally, like French, very like It's really pretty. It's really pretty stuff.
If something isn't printed by them, it's usually white, I've noticed, and it usually has a lot of ruffles or like lace.
There's a lot of like, if it's not beachy to death, Laura Ashley 80s floral, it's very like, I'm gonna throw all the white fabric on the white lace.
And their signature is for sure pink. Like,
that like
sweater,
lighter millennial pink.
Sweater or dress, I feel like everything is like pink or has some pink.
It's like a pink with a green flower, or like a green dress with a pink and a yellow flower.
It's almost like they use like the baby colors a lot. Like it's baby blue and baby pink. Like,
and like
a lot.
And like it's like Easter colors.
It is.
It's like Easter colors because it's that like light canary yellow, that like lighter. Yeah, like baby blue, lighter like baby pink, like lighter green. Very like springtime in California at a winery, and she's not paying for her wine at all. No, ma'am.
So at number 5 on our list of spring bolos is Zimmerman, and there are 2 M's and 2 N's in that.
Zimmerman.
So I have never found Zimmerman, but I have known about it for a long time, and I recently saw that Michelle from the Bin Pickers got it in her designer DIY, and I was very jealous.
It was a pretty dress. Too.
So pretty. And
that
then
bandana one.
They sold it in like 2 days, which is not surprising.
Good.
That's why it's a bolo.
And
so
good money too.
Zimmerman makes a lot of blouses and dresses. I would say that's the best thing to look for. Zimmerman does make other things. Like they have pants, they have blazers, and they even have some more like not as like cutesy pieces, but I would say the things that do best are their printed dresses and their printed blouses. They do use a lot of prints, but like I said, they do have some more like casual, solid color pieces.
A little bit more basic.
They also use a lot of lace and a lot of ruffle. I would pick up anything you find by Zimmerman because it's all worth a ton of money.
Yes.
But the printed like maxi dresses, kind of with all of the brands on this list, keep their value the most. And yeah, the printed stuff in general just has more of a following because they do some really intense, cute prints.
Some good photo
Which
shoots
is why,
with some of those printed
which is why it's
dresses,
kind of strange that they also like touch on that like casual, like business casual side.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, then they have like a bloggery printery stuff, like printery.
I think it's just like
Bloggery
multiple
printed
markets,
stuff,
you know?
like what Michelle found. So yeah, definitely pick it up if you see it, even if you do consider it to be boring. I think the Real marks them very high. So
very accurate. Okay, so number 6 on our list is another brand that does. She got her foot in a lot of different places. Little Miss Lula Johnson. She says a foot here, a foot here, a foot here, a foot here. Love her to death though. She is really well known for her dresses. She does a lot of blouses. She can do some really fun pants every now and again. We love an Lula Johnson.
That's the piece that
Lula
I
Johnson.
found. I have a fun pair of Lula Johnson pants.
You do. I found one of her blouses way back in the day. She is really well known for her. She does a lot of really fun prints. A lot of it's a little bit more neutral than some of the other things. She's very kind of like
color-wise, not as just.
We're not talking about design.
Love Shack Fancy and Rococo Sand are like cotton candy, like like colors in your face. She's like
naturally dyed,
colorful, but like
it's very like this color palette,
not like
but like this kind of a moment and this kind of a moment. And that kind of a moment. It's very like Lula Johnson. Like, if you can, like, pick a berry.
It's very Lula Johnson.
Very Lula Johnson. If you can, like, pick a berry and, like, mash it and, like, dye some fabric with it.
Yeah.
Lula Johnson.
Just not as intense.
Yes. So, speaking reselling, her dresses and her blouses hold a lot of their value. She can be sold at Anthropologie. I, honestly, when I found my piece, I listed it as Anthropologie, and I listed it as Lula Johnson, and the Lula Johnson one sold way faster. I think, especially
it's kind of like a Farm Rio situation.
If you find any of these, I would just go ahead and list them
as their own brand.
The brand versus like X Anthropologie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love her stuff. She is definitely one of my favorites on this list. She does make some really amazing sweaters and shoes. And I want to own some of her sweaters.
I hadn't known that she made sweaters until I was researching for this video, and she has some like really, honestly, her funkiest colors are in the sweaters. Like, she
her
had some
knits
sweaters.
are definitely a little like.
She had a sweater that was almost like flame color. It was like really cute.
It's really
but like she even makes like shoes. Which I didn't know that either. But she's all over it. She makes everything.
Lula Johnson says, I'm going to put on this interesting shoe. Foot here, foot here, foot here, foot here, foot here.
A brand that I just discovered within like the past month, and I am obsessed, over the moon obsessed with it. It's called Agua Bendida, or Agua by Agua Bendida.
She got some
It's like
names.
Aqua, but with a G. It's just Agua. Holy Mother. She makes these certain dresses, or he, I guess I don't know. They make these certain dresses that have like patchwork prints or like grid prints, where it's like literally like
it
the plants.
looks
How would you describe that?
Like seed packets.
Yes.
that somebody just like
It looks
sewed
like
together.
you took a picture of the like Walmart seed packet like stand and
You just
printed
cut
it
the back
onto-
off and just sewed them together into a dress.
Literally, they're so cute, and I think that is like their signature style. They make dresses, they make crop tops, and they actually make swim pieces. So again, perfect for spring. Everything is super colorful, and like I said, that print, they have done it as like flowers and plants. They've done it as types of birds. They've done it as types of trees. It's a lot of like botanical and floral prints.
Very flora and fauna.
I am a huge fan. The retail on the dresses, which I feel like is most often what you would see on like websites or maybe find in the thrift store. Let's all keep our fingers crossed.
Everybody cross all your fingers.
Retail for around $500. Some are higher, some are a little lower. So between like $400 and $600. They're very expensive, and they really keep their value, especially if you find those like patchwork grid print ones. Oh my gosh, I think you can sell those for like $400, $450 because like
Next to retail, basically.
they're very hard to find. I don't think you can buy them anymore. And it was like every blogger's dream come true, and I can see why, because it's just so cool. Like,
They're
it's so
so
pretty. Oh my
pretty.
gosh, I'm such a huge fan of those
They're
dresses.
so pretty. Okay, so number 8 on our list is a brand I have a little bit of experience with.
We both actually have some
yeah.
with this. I feel like
I
of
just
all of
have
them, this might be the one that we have the most experience with.
IRO. I don't. Does it stand for anything? Is
Nick
IRO?
calls it Eero. We always call it IRO because it's all capitals. I honestly have no idea. So don't rake us over the coals if we're
Pick
wrong.
your poison.
I don't
You know, I'm just gonna call it IRO.
Yeah.
If Nick wants to call it Eero, let him. Okay, so they are really well known for their jackets, specifically their leathers and their tweed jackets and their dresses. People go AWOL for these jackets. I personally love them. I want an IRO pink jacket because I just found one. I think they're adorable.
You want one that's bigger?
Yeah, exactly. Their jacket's expensive. I feel like any good designer leather jacket is like easily over $1,000.
Even the tweed ones.
The
a lot
tweed
of their
one-
tweed ones are almost
The tweed ones are like, we're inching up to $1,000.
Yeah.
The leather jackets, we've blown $1,000 out of the water by about $200. They're very expensive. And some of them, I found one that was a little beat up, but if you find one in better quality, better condition, it definitely like holds a good chunk of that value. Like you can get $300, $400, $500 for a good IRO leather jacket and about $250 to $300 for the tweed.
I would say that maybe IRO doesn't hold its value as well as most of the other ones on this list, just because like the tweed jackets are like $800 to $900. Obviously, you can't sell it for that much. I'd say you could maybe listen for like $250. $250, which I mean is still a really good flip. That's why I'd say it's a BOLO, but it definitely doesn't hold them as well. It's maybe like a little less spring than the rest.
I think a tweed jacket.
But yeah, I was gonna say, but the jackets they make are usually lighter ones, like leather and tweed.
I know, and like the leather jackets they typically make them in moto styles. So imagine like a nice little like more fitted moto jacket versus like a bigger I associate them with fall, like the bigger like puffier thicker leather jackets.
It's
and
much more like
they
transitional pieces.
The colors aren't just like black. Like they make them in like pink and orange and yellow. They do all these different colors in leather, and they do all these different like color varieties in the tweeds. So I think like the color kind of like lends itself to the season if like the material 100% doesn't.
Their dresses are like
way.
less colorful than the rest on this list though, which I mean, it's hard when you're comparing it to some like really colorful brands like this.
Yeah.
They do use some, not...
Yeah. I think in terms of like the dresses, they're a little bit more minimalist, where like they do have like some pops of color, or they'll have like a fun aspect to them, but like most of the time it is like a little bit more pared down, a little bit more simple, like a neutral black and white gray kind of a situation.
I compare
depending on the style.
Mentally, I find it similar. Their dresses with like maybe All Saints,
Yes.
or maybe like Rag and Bone, or like Zadig and Voltaire. It's like
depending on the style,
definitely more
like does something to the value.
Definitely more like minimal and not super like in your face, like pop of color, but like can be sometimes. That's more what I think of them as. So next up on the list is one that I've never found, but it holds its value crazy well. So it's definitely a BOLO to look out for. And it's called Marisa Swim. I'm not exactly sure, but here's the label.
I'm gonna call it Marisa. Marisa.
And they make basically only swimwear. They have like a couple dresses and a couple tops, but obviously based on the name of their brand, it's very heavily swimwear and swim covers. They make lots of very trendy swimwear, so it's a lot of like scalloped hems and really cute prints, a lot of gingham, and a lot of like the prints that we've seen very popular in the past couple years. And they're 2 pieces. You can get both pieces for around like $150 to $200, which is a lot for swim. Like
for swim,
that's
my
a lot.
swimsuits, to put in perspective, Walmart, $10.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And then their one pieces are about $300, give or take like $25 either way. So again, for one swim piece, to me that seems pretty crazy.
I could have 30 Walmart swim trunks. Okay,
and they hold their value really well. Like I think you can resell a one piece of their swimsuits for like $200, which is a lot. Like a body piece, like a one piece. That's a lot. That's a lot
for a swimsuit used is insane. I don't understand. Like I get it. Like people want to, like be fancy and like do things, but like it's a swimsuit.
Yeah, I
like
know.
Chlorine, ocean, lake.
To me, I feel like the last category I'd spend a lot of my money on is like swim.
Is a swimsuit.
But I mean, I guess if you were like really into like vacationing at beaches all the time, maybe.
If you had the money to be really vacationing at beaches.
I live in the state of lakes, but like I don't go to lakes like all the time,
well,
so it's definitely not worth the investment in my opinion.
And like if you did like live in California, that's saltwater. Saltwater is not good for fabric.
It must be a thing for people that like take beach pictures a lot.
Can you imagine? You make an entire living just buying $300.
I mean, if you're like a beach blogger or like a Florida blogger, I could see it then. Because like you're investing in it, but also like it's paying your bills because you're posting pictures of you in it.
Okay, so number 10 on our list, we are going to take a big pivot. Reese Witherspoon's brand Draper Jeans.
This is definitely one that I think you'll find most often of all of these.
She's a little bit more common.
And it's definitely the lowest in value and retail price compared to the rest, but it's definitely still one to keep an eye open for.
Yes, it definitely, I would say, is, we'll just say like price lower period. It resells pretty well. Obviously, like not for a time, because it doesn't retail for a time. You get the whole picture.
Yeah.
So Reese Witherspoon, love her to death, can't, great. What has she been in? Now that I think about it, I can't think of like
for a while because she's like a mom. And
she has
clothes.
And she does Draper Jeans.
She has a lot to do.
She's amazing. So she does a lot of like things that regular people can wear, like good tops, good blouses, good shorts, good jeans, good dresses. It's definitely like, it looks good and it's built well.
I saw, who was it? I might have been searching Belinda's page. Someone was selling a like 4th of July one that was like really cute, just like subtle like red and white stripes or red and blue stripes on a white dress. Like very like subtle, but like good for an event, good for like a couple pictures. Like it's like, it's good like mom clothes, but like up a little bit.
It's definitely
like, up
like
a level.
The function is priority number 1. Priority number 2 is this gonna look good on somebody?
Yeah, it's like cute mom clothes.
Yeah.
For the mom that's not like only focusing on comfort, she's like, I also want to look like cute.
Decent.
At our 4th of July barbecue.
Exactly. So she definitely, in terms of the materials, basic materials, sometimes you'll get a silk blouse. Most of it's like cotton, elastane, just like your poly blends, like the good, like you can wash it.
Yeah.
Like if you spill a little bit on it, you're from the July party, you throw a little shout on there, throw in the washing machine. It retails for, I would say the blouses, I would like to get 25 to 30 for some of them.
I'd say like 30 to 40.
For most of them. The dresses, you could probably get 60
70.
to 80.
Yeah.
Depending on the style.
Because I think the dresses retail about like 100 to 150.
Which like I would say it's not like really expensive, but it's like, if you're just like a regular mom or just like a regular person, like $150 for a dress is like, it's nice and you feel formal in it, but it definitely isn't like spending $700 on like a Rococo Sand dress.
And she does a lot of like very cute prints. So like
it is very toned down compared to the rest of it. It's very like a print that works in like multiple different situations.
Yeah, but they're cute, so like people do like look. It's not just like, I don't know, like a mall brand Calvin Klein or something where it's just like they're just pounding out tons of designs like florals and florals and florals. Like they're kind, like you can tell it's more like thought out prints, cuter. So people do look for it more than like other things in that price range. It's a little more sought after.
Yeah.
But you can find some good prices on them at Nordstrom Rack sometimes, actually. So check there. If you ever see it for like under $10, I'd say it's worth it.
I would go for it. I will say, I think I've heard from the Instagram that like the fit is what people really like. Is like she is very size inclusive, which like we love. And I think like she builds clothes for like regular people.
It's not super intense fabric, so you can just wash it.
Throw it
After
in the
your
washing
barbecue,
machine.
you can just go wash
You
that.
say, oh, I'm gonna shot wipe this.
Yeah.
Wash it.
That is all that we have for you for these 10 spring BOLO brands. Let us know if you learned any new ones, if they were all new, if some were new, if you knew all of them and we're just like, you muted us a while ago.
Have you found any of these? Are you like me and found one and kicked yourself when you realized it was really expensive?
Yeah. Or have you found any of these and not found luck? Are we wrong? Let us know.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you want more BOLOs in the future, of course, let us know in the comments. We love making BOLO brand videos because it seems like we're always running into more and more BOLOs. Like our list of BOLOs at this point is like never ending.
I feel like for a little bit it kind of stalled out. And
But
now
now
that
I'm
it's
like
spring.
I feel like
Things are open again.
I've learned so many.
I know.
So that is all we have for you for this Thursday. But we will see you on Saturday for What Sold Saturday. And then, like I said, we're going to Minneapolis this weekend when we're doing What Sold Saturday. We plan on going to the bins. I see no reason why we wouldn't unless an event like last time happened and it got worse. If you remember the story time from last week. But I think it's going to be okay.
Happened? I don't want to remember.
I think it's going to be okay. I think we're going to get to the bins and we should have a haul for you on Tuesday.
Yes.
So, that's all we have for you today. And we'll see you
Saturday.
on Saturday. Mike says goodbye.
And I says bye. He says put me down.
He says cut the cameras.
He says bye.